All right, so this is the devlog cast. That's what I called it last week. This week we're calling it DeepLog because that's what Michael was calling it um,
Mm-hmm.
in his written form. So I like the way that sounds better and it fits the game. So we're gonna go with that. We're Chashu Entertainment. We've been making games for a while. We made Deputy Dangle, Sands of Aura, and we worked on a couple Fortnite maps while we were kind of transitioning from Sands of Aura to our current project. That current project is Call from the Deep, and basically, Call from the Deep is a multiplayer co-op horror adventure where you, sorry, you and your crew man a submarine, and you find facilities underwater, and you uncover secrets and mysteries, and try to return to the surface. That's like the quick Cliff Note version without revealing too much. You can talk about that more since, from your background. So the last week I interviewed Michael, and this week we're talking to Zach, who is the writer, and he's also picked up level design and environment art. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. I'm struggling through it.
You want to tell us a little
Um,
bit about yourself and what you
yeah,
do
yeah,
other than like the things I mentioned?
yeah. Like Cassidy said, my name's Zach. I am the narrative designer. On Sansavar, I was primarily focused on writing and level design. Definitely a more traditional narrative design position. For Call from the Deep, I have basically transitioned into more of like a hybrid role where I still do a lot of narrative things like setting up overall themes and world building and stuff like that. But I also do like level blockouts, kind of like more particular environmental art things like asset placement, lighting, all that good stuff. So it's been pretty dope to be able to kind of spread my wings and try some other design disciplines. I think with writing you can get a little it's very easy to put words on a page. It's very easy to kind of like go hard in the paint in terms of like coming up with crazy things. And I think kind of really seeing the amount of effort that goes into building and implementing even the most basic things in engine has been just like super illuminating. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing your progress, and it's pretty amazing. Like, I am nowhere. I think you're already past me in like environment art stuff because I don't really dabble in that at all. But I'm really impressed with what you've learned, and I know Michael's taught you a lot. So, um,
yeah, it's been great, man. And like YouTube has been huge. The
yeah,
the amount of resources that are out there have been great. It's I think with some of the environment art stuff, I feel a little bit more sense of freedom in terms of being able to kind of like just go wild and do crazy things because I'm not like I I think I don't really like identify as an artist, so I can be a little crazier in terms of like trying things out and not being stuck in being like, oh, this has to be good, or this has to like like I'm an artist or some some haughty
yeah.
thing like that.
I
So
think you definitely have an eye for it, though.
thanks, man.
The lighting, and everything. Like they'll see some of the images. Like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Lighting has been super fun and it's been super challenging to learn. But I think Mike's a good teacher, and in terms of like learning learning a lot of the nuances has been really cool. So
yeah. So, what do you like the most about what you do?
oh man, in
Is
terms
this
of specifically level design or
um
just in
like
general, just the position itself.
Yeah, like the position. Like it's kind of a broad question since you are wearing several hats, like we all kind of
Yeah.
do. But I mean, it can still just be that you love the writing the most.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I'm definitely torn. I love writing. I think it's kind of like my North Star in a lot
Yeah,
of my creative ambitions. And it allows me to like just with any type of like art to kind of like get at subconscious things and to kind of work through things. I think with level design, kind of like I was saying, there's so much to the the building of spaces and to the like creation of environments that it actually encapsulates so much of writing that I had considered, but I don't think I had thought about it in such like a conscious way. So it's really cool to kind of see those two like loves kind of like blend into one another, because I definitely feel like they inform each other in terms
Yeah,
of like once you've spent a lot of time world building, like a lot of those decisions you came up with, they influence like the architecture and like these cultures you came up with. How do they kind of like leave that their impression on the space that they're in? And it's just been really cool to kind of see the back and forth between those things. So um,
yeah. I
yeah,
think there's definitely like an advantage to like writing out like the lore and the world, building the world, and then like actually putting it in front of you in 3D space versus
yeah,
just following like concept art. You know what I mean? So like I feel like you're in like a unique position where like your vision you're actually applying your vision to like the world.
yeah. It's really fun, and I think too it's very like it's much more iterative than it's much more iterative than I think it sounds like. I think you get in and they kind of feed off each other. So maybe you have an
Yeah,
impression of like how the world should be or how it is, and then you start building things out
and it
and you
doesn't work out.
realize, well, or you even like realize like one thing I really love about level design is that it's very it is there's so much discovery in it. Like sometimes you'll kit bash an asset or something, and it it inspires the world. Like you learn something new. Like I'll learn something new about one of these factions that we've been working on that I like hadn't even thought of it, and it like brings an insight into kind of the larger world, and then it kind of spills out. And I think that back and forth where it's like you do a little bit of world building, you start to iterate in the level design, you get a sense of it, and then that that level design then starts to feed into the world building, and it's like a really cool back and forth. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, that does sound that does seem pretty awesome. Um, on that note, where are you getting like the inspiration for the lore of the world? Like, I remember in
mm,
the beginning you guys were watching a lot of stuff like related to like Dr. Jekyll and stuff like that, and I thought you guys were like
mm-hmm.
way into it, like deep, and I was like, man, that seems like really cool. Like I I'm excited to see the game in its final product, like reflecting some of those ideas.
Yeah, yeah. It's been man, it's been definitely like a broad brush in terms of inspiration. I think we you can't really make like a Lovecraftian horror game without really like digging into like the guy who defined the genre. So there has been a lot of inspiration, or at least a lot of research into Lovecraft and kind of trying to understand the like horror that's really behind his work, the a lot of the notions of like unknowability and like uncertainty that are inherent just like in our daily lives that he really gets into, existential dread, stuff like that. So I think that's been a big one. But then in addition to that, there's also been like a big historical influence on us. We've looked at a lot of we've looked at a lot of like paintings and poems and movies, and the goal there has been to really try and find some inspiration kind of outside of video games. Not because they're better or anything like that, but more just because the goal is to kind of try and really get at a world that feels unique and different, and maybe a little bit bigger than itself. So like having it be referential to some of these to some of these other inspirations, kind of we found has added to that. So that's the goal, anyways. My hope is that we can hit that and we can carry a lot of the big like blue sky concepts into the nitty gritty of the actual design itself. But um, yeah, and then to contradict myself, I do think like Bloodborne um, and the way that it delivers its narrative has also been kind of a big inspiration too. So
Okay. Um, did you want to talk about like where you're at in the project right now, like what your progress is, and I guess some of the difficulties you've had? I'm gonna play your level, like a playthrough of your level, while you're talking about that, if you don't mind.
yeah, yeah. Right now, my predominantly my role has been a little more centered on level design. The the I've kind of been just like bouncing between the two different hats. It's basically the biggest challenge is just like time. There's like a lot of research that's needed to kind of hit at some of these inspirations for the writing side. So right now, a lot of the day to day has really been trying to get spaces that are playable and that we can start kind of iterating on in terms of gameplay and in terms of mission design and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I think right now it's much more like level design focused than anything else. And then yeah, with that, it's just like it's dealing with a lot of the challenges that come with level design. So I'm finding right now that the biggest challenges are kind of like communicating information to the player, and doing that in terms of like spatial communication as well. There's this there's this really great talk by a level designer named Peter Field. He works at he worked for Naughty Dog, and I think he works at Media Molecule now. But it's like if anybody's interested in level design, it's like I'd recommend it 1,000 times. He puts it into such like implementable like chunks of information that have really been like a guiding light for trying to figure out excuse me, certain challenges. Um, but basically, the biggest thing is like trying to develop a vocabulary between the player and the level. So um, you you want to kind of like set up these, for lack of a better term, like verbs that then you can then subvert, or you can reward like an understanding of those things. um, I think to kind of put it in, it's kind of like if you come across like some pipes, right, that let you like jump over a gap. There is this expectation that's now been created with like the object of the pipe, that it can be used to basically deal with a certain challenge, right? So then you can subvert the expectations that you've now set. So it's been like a lot of trying to do that, trying to really just create cool spaces too, spaces that feel alive um, and are kind of fun to walk around in. So I know I'm rambling, but
No, 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 you're good. You're good.
yeah.
uh, so you were saying that like you were struggling with like the communication. Can you like maybe elaborate on that more? Like, do you mean like telling a player like basically what to do within the level without telling them?
Yeah, yeah. Telling them without telling them, guiding in a way that makes it feel like it's a sense of discovery and not just like a point A to point B.
Yeah,
Um, Definitely like trying to have the player encounter like a gate before they find the key for that gate. Like just a lot of like trial and error of like setting up those type of situations, and then realizing that it works or it doesn't work, and then trying to iterate on that. um, so yeah, it's definitely been a lot of that, a lot of back and forth. I think in terms of like creating cool spaces and a space that's like evocative, I think that that kind of that's definitely come a little bit easier. But the actual like nitty gritty, trying to like really make sure the player knows what they're doing, and knows and feels good doing it, is like the biggest challenge. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I understand that. It's kind of similar with like you kind of just don't know until someone tells you, right? Like you're kind of just working and you have an idea for how something's gonna work or how it should look, and you expect it to. You don't expect your players to run into an issue with that until they
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me and Mike were literally just talking about that. This idea of like as soon as you like you're in your level and you're working and yeah, you may have gotten feedback from a couple other members of the team, but as soon as you get someone in there who has no idea, has not touched it, that's when you really start to see kind of like what the
Where the holes are and stuff.
yeah,
And
where the holes
yeah,
are. Yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
just where you could be more clear.
yeah. It's not like quite the same in animation, but like there's a lot of
Mm.
similarities where uh, it's hard to you're trying to make the character move in certain ways, and you're trying to describe, what's going on through their movement,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can push that too far, where you're taking away control from the player,
Oh
and so
yeah,
there has
yeah,
to be like
definitely.
this balance of like control and like grounding the visuals of it into a plausible reality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that it definitely does make sense. I feel like and there's also kind of the challenge too of like multiplayer as well. I think that I mean, I'm sure you've kind of felt it in terms of like some of the play tests or just in your own experience playing like multiplayer games. There's this um, you're trying to like you don't really want to slow down the pace too much with like too much reading or like
Yeah,
I think especially in the horror genre, you tend to lean on some of those like more like note based ways of disseminating information, and I think that it's hard to do that in a multiplayer setting too. So trying to find out a way to really make it engaging for every player, so you don't just have somebody like walking around and following people around.
yeah, that's
I think
definitely
those
how I play.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I'm
fall into the same
basically
camp. Yeah.
yeah, I basically
um
turn into like a little soldier, and like I let everybody else figure out what we're supposed to do, and then I try to
yeah,
help that, but I never am the guy who's like trying to figure out what to do.
like trying to figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it definitely creates an interesting challenge. But I think within that challenge and those limitations, there's also a lot of um, it's kind of like there's like the notion of like the blank page syndrome when it comes with writing. Sometimes when you have a place to start, like when you have limitations and stuff, they can kind of help to it can kind of help to move you forward without having it be without having it to be too intimidating on the forefront.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm getting distracted by the by the playthrough.
Sorry, you
Um,
cut out on that last sentence. What'd you say?
oh, I said I was getting distracted by the playthrough.
Oh, you're watching? Yeah, dude, I do
Yeah,
that too.
yeah,
I try to look
yeah,
away.
yeah.
So I guess that's pretty much everything. I
Mm.
wanted to maybe give you a chance to like talk about yourself outside of the game. Like, what are your hobbies? I see a
Oh,
skateboard and some guitars back there.
yes, yeah. Skateboarding. I definitely a lot of guitar. I kind of started playing music before I really found writing. That was kind of like and then it was through like songwriting and stuff. I realized how much I enjoyed writing, and then kind of position or it kind of like pursued it from there. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just um, I like a big kayaker. I like kayaking. Like video games, like writing,
Nice.
just yeah, yeah, standard stuff. What about you,
Yeah.
man? What are some of your hobbies?
Oh man, I have a kid, so like a lot of my hobbies
Oh,
have kind
okay,
of
yeah.
like
So
died
that's
off. But
your hobby, yeah.
I used to climb. Like I used to do a lot of
Oh yeah,
bouldering
yeah, that's right,
before,
yeah.
and I used to skateboard when I was in high school, and then like I just kind of moved away from all my friends that skated, so I kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
also used to play a lot of guitar. I was a bass player, and I was in like
Nice.
a high school band. It wasn't like anything good. It was probably
Oh,
horrible.
dude. Yeah, yeah. No,
But yeah,
I've definitely
I
been there.
I know what you mean. Like I used to love like writing songs and stuff like that. They were probably horribly like emo scene kid kind of stuff, but
Hey, dude,
that was
that's
definitely
where
where I
it's
was
at,
at.
man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta work through all those high school emotions.
yeah. So hard. But yeah, so um, do you do you foresee yourself like if you were to ever like I'm not saying you're gonna get a new job or anything, but if you were, would you continue pursuing level design and writing in like another studio if that ever happened, or would you like just go back to writing? Do you think?
Man, this is a hard question because I've enjoyed I've enjoyed level design so much that I feel like I could do it full time. Like, or well, I mean, I'm doing it full time now, but I
Yeah,
just mean like in the sense of like I could make it a priority. I just love them both so much that it's hard for me to choose. That's why ideally I could keep my
yeah,
position here at the studio and be able to
of
bounce
course,
back and
yeah.
forth as needed.
At the very least, that like I think that'd be a pretty cool like resume thing. You know, like I do level design and you know
Yeah, yeah.
story writing. So
Yeah. I guess I mean I feel like it's crazy because they feel so similar. Like I know they look so different on the outside, but I feel like they just feed into each other so much that
yeah,
like it's really cool to be able. I'm just super lucky to be in a position where I get to get in and make cool shit. So yeah,
I mean,
super.
I'm glad you like uh, decided to go along with doing level design and stuff because I think a lot of times it's really intimidating because is a ton to learn. It's a ton to learn,
Yeah,
and I don't even know. You probably know more about like engine stuff than I do since I'm always like in Blender or
man,
3ds
dude.
Max or whatever.
Yeah, I mean I mean I feel like it goes the other direction too because like as soon as I open a Blender now I'm like super
Oh,
intimidated.
dude, I
Like
forgot. Yeah, you did learn
yeah
Blender too.
yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot, man.
Um, but I was super intimidated because I had never really been in the engine really all that much because on Sanzivara, Jeremy, awesome guy. Yeah, shout out to Jeremy. He handled most of the like quest implementations and stuff in Sanzivara. But anyways, I didn't really have much of like an in-engine presence. And so it's been great. It was super intimidating at the beginning. I think if anybody was interested in Unreal, it's super intimidating to like on the surface, like on the forefront, but once you get in and Mike is definitely just like a very much like a uh turn every knob, mess with
Until it works.
everything. Like yeah, just like play like don't be so afraid to just like experiment and play around.
Yeah,
And I think having that sense of freedom and this sense of being able to make mistakes is it makes it a lot easier to learn.
yeah.
You're not as focused on like the final results or the final product. You can just get in and as long as you're willing to learn and willing to try, you can figure stuff out. So
Yeah, I think that's where I struggle. Is like I'm afraid to break things. I'm like horribly
yeah,
afraid to break things. And so you know, I always like try to like, hey John, is it okay if I do this? I'm always bugging him.
dude, yeah.
Kind of feel
I
bad.
have sent I've sent so many messages like to
Yeah,
John or to Dylan to be like, hey, if I do this, am I gonna break something? So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
definitely feel that, man.
yeah,
But it's been fun. It's been fun. Again,
yeah,
I'm just super grateful that I get to do this every day, and
yeah.
hopefully
It is fun.
we can make some cool stuff for
Yeah,
people.
man. I hope this game does good because I'm excited for it. So far, everything that you guys have built, it looks amazing, and I think the character fits, and I'm excited for the new monster that's going to be in.
Oh yeah,
Um,
dude, you've been crushing it. I'm super excited for the monster
Thank
and
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I post. There's some video of it at the beginning of the last devlog if anybody is interested in that and you haven't seen that one yet. But other than that, I think we're pretty good now. Are you good? Do you have anything else you want to add or?
Oh no, I don't think so. I did want to ask you like what's one of your like favorite games? Like
My
do you
favorite
have kind
games?
of yeah like a guiding?
Oh
guiding
my
light
god, I
that
have so many like the
yes,
genres stretch quite broadly for me.
yeah.
I would say if I was gonna pick a game that like there's like three games that have like defined me. If I was gonna say a game made me a person, it would
Mhm.
be like Oblivion, like the Elder Scrolls
Oh yeah,
games. More like
yeah.
Morrowind and Oblivion, I would count as the same game, even though they're not. And then Dark Souls, and then
Okay, yeah,
um, actually maybe it's only two. Maybe
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
Oblivion and Dark
there's
Souls. Those are
some other
good.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good, man.
I did like Bloodborne. Honestly, I've never finished it because it's just so hard for me to get the PlayStation on. You know, like
I gotcha. Yeah,
we
yeah.
use it a lot for like Netflix and stuff. But other than that, like if I'm on the TV, then we're probably watching TV together. So I'm not gonna have the PlayStation on. Um,
Mm-hmm. That's that kid hobby you were talking about
yeah, yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do get into other games too. Like for some reason, I suddenly was into like I got into SnowRunner. It's just like a trucking game. I don't know
Oh,
why.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Is it kind of like meditative almost? Like,
it's just something like to grind, like and just kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
forget about everything, like clear your mind. I guess. Yeah, meditative.
Mhm.
And then I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a dad now and I just want to build infrastructure and
Okay, yeah.
I don't
Leave some
know.
legacy behind. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are your games?
Oh man. Again, I'm kind of like you. I definitely have like a wide swath of stuff that I really think made an impact on me. I feel like of course like the original Final Fantasy VII was huge. I think that was like one of the first times I was like really like knocked on my ass as to what video games could do. Especially, which is so crazy because looking at it now, it's like it's almost like cave art in comparison to how crazy stuff looks. But I think also like I'll just
Narratively, they're some of the best though, right?
yes, yeah.
Still, they still
The
stand.
Mass Effect trilogy where it was
Mm.
huge. I really grew up playing that a lot. And then I think horror wise, probably like Silent Hill 2 and like the Fatal Frames, like those
Dude, I
just
forgot to bring up Resident Evil.
yeah,
But yeah, Resident Evil would be one for me. And now that you mentioned Fatal Frame, like I wouldn't say it was like a defining game, but that
yeah.
game definitely kept me up at night, man.
Fatal Frame was like it was so
So scary.
intense. I was like I couldn't even play it. Like
Yeah.
I definitely remember like coming to like a breaking point as to like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Back
So
then it was like you'd have sleepovers, right? And you and your friends would be together and
yeah,
you're like, "You play, dude. You play." Like that was like the
absolutely.
that's how it was for
Yeah.
me with Resident Evil at least.
Like trading the controller back and
Yeah,
forth. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm glad we had a chance to do this.
Yeah, it was
We
fun.
were supposed to do Lee this week, but he had an appointment, so
Mm.
a dentist appointment, I think, something like that. But um, you volunteered to take his spot, so I really appreciate that.
Just
And
trying to fill in the shoes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's gonna get through it one time, so
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, we are gonna call it here, but please check out next week's DeepLog, and hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks.